Hey, hello everyone. Haven't made a video in a while, but I kind of took 6 weeks off of napping. So my shoulder been giving me a little problem, so I decided to take a little break and thought I would get back at it. My shoulder's feeling a lot better. Thought I would maybe measure out this little piece of obsidian I cut on my saw. Just a big wonky piece, so I just kind of cut it up so I could learn how to do indirect and stuff on a slab of obsidian without breaking it. See how long it is. 3 9/16 by 3 3/8 at its widest, and they're almost a ½ inch thick. Should be more like 7/16 probably. You can see that. Hopefully I'll not too rusty and I can make something out of it. I'm gonna try. I don't know if I'm gonna use a bopper yet, or may try to use a bopper instead of indirect just for the practice. Pretty good chance I'm gonna break it anyway. So why not? Let's see. Got one of my boppers I made here, 4 9 ounces. A little bigger than I want, but I don't see a small one right off the top of my head. I must have them put up somewhere, so I guess we'll just get at it and see if I can get anything out of this thing. Probably just zigzag the edges, cake square edges off, shape it up a little bit. See what happens. Start on these ends. Like butter. Kind of crunchy and snapping halfies there, it looks like. Maybe a bad sign. Oh no, it broke all the way across. It just wasn't detached. All right, that's a little better. Nice flake. Maybe a little too nice. See if I can get this other side to do something similar. Be nice. That's why I run into problems with a big bopper. I can't get in there. That's why I usually use indirect on this. Probably be the smart thing, but I want to practice my accuracy with a bopper because I definitely need it. I was watching Sal's live earlier. He just makes this stuff look easy. Practice, I guess. Gotta admit though, obsidian is easy to work. Well, easy in the fact that it don't take a lot of force like some of the rock I'm used to hitting. I love my Jeff City, but that stuff's tough. Probably gonna have to get me a new one. About to get this one wore out. But it still works. Nice. I think I'm getting some shadows here. Hopefully I'm staying in frame. I ain't figured out this camera setup yet where I can get nice and close like everybody does. Huh, kind of broke up there on the end. It's so thin, but didn't lose much off the edge. Got a nice flake though. I'll take it. Man, this stuff naps easy. Mahogany Obsidian. Yeah. Might have got a little carried away with that one. Probably be all right, but sure don't need to be no thinner right here. But I'm gonna lose some of this anyway on the width, so probably be all right. Hopefully. If not, I can blame it on not napping in a while, right? Kind of broke funny right in here too. Hope there's not a crack in there. Yeah, it's still scooped out. I don't see a crack. That's probably just the operator of the bopper. I'm gonna have to talk with him. I think I'll work on this tip instead of the middle. Thin it out a little bit. May have to do some ziggy-zaggy. Flip-flop. Ain't that what maybe John Tuttle calls it? Flip-flopping it. Whatever. I guess it's all of those things. Ooh. Didn't do nothing. Looks like it should. But there we go. What do we get? Boy, it broke all to pieces. Nice flake, but it shattered. What's Patrick call that? Snapping halfish. It's not really a good platform there. Maybe I should work around the other way. Yeah, we'll keep going. Feels good to be napping. Figured this be something wooden. Whew. Stepped too far out of that. Change my angles up a little bit. Just need some short flakes for convexity. I don't need to be driving flakes in there like that. Looks kind of crunchy right there. I don't always use a braiders. On this stuff, sometimes I just knock the delicate stuff off with the edge of the bopper like that and go again. Seems to work for me. Ooh. That is crunchy, oh, crunchy. I don't know if I'm trying to take too much or if it's the material. This whole spot in here is doing it. Wasn't having that problem back there. Probably the guy on the bopper steel. See if I can run something in here. Maybe down the edge here and take part of that square edge off. Maybe. You know, it exploded, but probably need to be a little stronger platform. Nice flake. All ripply right there. Uh-oh. That was one of that Sal's boomerang flakes. I've had this stuff cut up for probably a year or better. And figured it'd be a good time to there we go. Kind of get back into the groove of things a little bit with something simple, easy, and not too upsetting if I break it. Not that I want to, because, you know, it's a rock. Pretty sure it doesn't have anything clear in it. I'll look at it in a minute under the light. Pretty sure it's just mahogany. Ooh, I hit too high. Took the whole edge off there. Lost gonna cost me a little link. Oh well. We'll see if we can get a biface out of it anyway. But you can see I kind of got the square edge off. It's wonky as all get out. Still got a little of cut on it, but I ain't been worried about that. If I was smart, and I certainly ain't saying that I am, I'd switch over to indirect, because I could do a lot better job on this with it. But I want to practice with a bopper, so I'm just going to take my chances. Knock all this loose stuff off, abrade it, and see if I can't clean the edge up a little bit. And probably ought to do that with something other than this big old bopper. Let's see if I got a smaller one over there. I don't see one. Yeah, smaller, but it ain't weighted. Yeah. Let's give it a try. Worst thing that can happen is I break it. And again, I'll just blame it on the rock. See if I can get some of that off. It's kind of a little above center, but we're going to try it anyway. Sweet. Just one of them grays and flakes, and took it right off. Should be able to get that from the other side. Hope so. Run a flake in over here. Take that step out. Might be able to get it right here, maybe. Nope, that didn't go near far enough. That sounded way better than that little step I got. Kind of weird using a flat bopper. I'm really used to the round ones nowadays. So I'm just throwing all kinds of spokes in my wheel. I do like how it just kind of grabs. If you miss or you hit, one of the two. But she's coming along, starting to look a little bit more like something instead of a saw cut piece of Don't hit up there, Jim. Yeah. It's nice if I can just graze it. But ooh, way too high trying to graze it. Way, way, way. Look at that. Hit way up there and tore that big old chunk out. Didn't even run a flake, really. It just blowed up that side. I know what that's telling me. It's telling me to put that dang gum bopper down and get me a indirect rod. So, think I'll listen. This is just a 5/16. Hopefully I don't smack the camera. Way more gooder. Yes, more gooder's a word. I use it all the time. I'm rusty as all get out. I can sure tell. You can tell I haven't been hitting anything. I'm gonna try to remember to support this baby. There we go. I like it. See if I can. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get on the tip a little bit more. Take some of that weight out, maybe. Boy, I don't want to run a flake here. It just wants to go into that same spot as that broke off from the other side. It's just going in there and stopping. I'm not sure why. It's not my fault. It's the rock's fault. My copper's dull. I'm blind. I got excuses. But it's just me. Yeah, that didn't do nothing either. Had to get mad at it. Now that did a little bit of damage. Don't know if I can put that back together because it kind of blew up. Yeah. Started out right here. Didn't lose. Well, I don't guess I lost any edge to mount anything. But come in there and got that hinge. This part broke off. Got a nice bigger flake there. Cleaned that up a lot. But now I definitely need to get back to this hump right here. See if I can get to that from maybe right in here somewhere. Run a flake in there. Because now it's thinner here than it is here and here. So I want to clean that up. If possible. It's possible. I don't know if it's possible for me to do it, but it is possible. Hang on to it, Jim, or you ain't gonna have an arrowhead. Dropping that box of obsidian flakes down there. Can't really see my other screen over there. I hope I'm staying in frame. I really need to come down here and spend some time and figure it out. Nushing. That spot right there does not want to cooperate at all. See if I can try to set this up over here where I can see if I'm in frame or not. Wedge my phone in the drawer. So far so good. And while I'm over here, might as well have a sip of coffee out of my keep napping cup. Can you see it? Yep, keep napping. Good advice. Or like I like to say, smack a rock. Alright, so I think I'm gonna have to go to a little pressure, clean this edge up a little bit, and maybe be able to get in here. Might even get it with pressure, I don't know. And boy, that's just crunchy, crunchy, crunchy right here. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do much about that. That whole tip's like that, all up through here. The other side maybe not, but I don't know if I caused this problem or if it's the stone itself, but it is a problem. I may have done it when I took that chunk out. Let's blame it on something else though. Can't blame it on who I got the rock from, because I don't know who I got the rock from. I've had it too long. And I think I actually got this off Amazon, to be honest. Before I had any connections and knew anybody that sold rock, like Danny or Curtis or Brad Moore, any of them guys that I use for my rock. I lost a little width doing that. Got a little closer to the problem though, which was kind of the plan. Still think I'm going to have to take some of this off, but I think I'll use indirect first. Try to run a couple flakes in there. Maybe. 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 That's what she said. Maybe. Yep. And just look at that. Just look at it. Would you look at that? Waka. Well, I got closer to it. There's no doubt about that. I guess that was all gas and no brakes. I usually assume there's an arrowhead hiding in every piece of rock. I have proven that wrong. But usually, I think it's the I don't know. I mean, that helped for sure, but it still could. It ain't ended nice and smooth. It's just wanting to. Usually I don't have that problem, but again, I have been not napping for 6 weeks. That could definitely be an issue. I run up in there, but you'd think it would have got some of that instead of going around it. But it didn't want to, I don't guess. Well, that tore a chunk out, but nice. That thinned her out a little. Now, one thing I can't figure out is how Sal and Patrick sit here and do this. Just raise that edge up. I guess I didn't do horrible on it that time, but I didn't do great either. And I don't know if I'm gonna have anything left, fellas. I'll give me a little bird point out of a pretty good piece of flint, what it looked like. Should have went to indirect and a little sooner probably, and I probably shouldn't have turned the camera on. I thought, heck, I'm napping, might as well get a video out of it, right? I definitely need more content. My grandson posted on my page the other day, he said we need more videos, which was pretty awesome actually. I think it's pretty awesome that he watches or even interested in something like this. Maybe I'll get him over here one of these days napping with me. That'd be awesome. Not so sure right now I'd be the guy to show him how. Till I get a little more rusty. Take that edge back a little bit. Got plenty of width here. Well, we got a biface. Well, yeah, still like that spot right there, but it's an ugly biface, but it is a biface. See if I can't run a flake up in here and get that cleaned up just a little bit. Kind of pull it back towards me a little bit. See what we got. Yeah, baby. That's what I like. Well over halfway, and went up and cleared all that out. Nice. If I can do that a few times, I might actually salvage something out of this thing. But she's already getting thin, so can't be afford to hitting like that very much. One of these days, you know, I think I asked a question on somebody's live the other day, what motivates people. Might have been Marty's. What motivates them to nap. So I guess I'll answer my own question. With a little story. I was out rock hunting with my dad one time when I was young, real young. I was probably like maybe 7, 8 years old, and he was finding several points, and everything I found that day was broke. I mean, the tip would be broke off, which was pretty common, and arrowheads weren't worth nothing back then. They were just everywhere. And I asked him, of course, this was in the mid 70s, pretty good while back, but I asked Dad on the ones that had the tip broke how to fix them. He said, well, I don't know. And that motivated me a long time ago that I wanted to be able to fix them, which now I don't fix broken arrowheads, at least not artifacts like I was thinking back then. But for some reason, when he told me that, it stuck with me that if I wanted to fix them, I had to learn how, because he didn't know how. He couldn't show me, which was fair, I guess. But at the same time, it didn't help me any. And that's part of my motivation for wanting to nap, along with the fact that I used to hunt arrowheads just about every day that I had the opportunity, at least. And now everything's no-till. Most of the places I used to hunt down in northeast Arkansas and southeast Missouri have all been leveled and planed off at an angle, graded at an angle to grow rice and stuff. So you just don't get an opportunity most of the time to go actually pick up an arrowhead. Every once in a while I'll find a spot that's just right and I'll get to go, but it's pretty rare anymore. And so I decided that if I can't go find them, I'll learn how to make them. And because I always had the interest, just didn't have anybody to teach me. And then I thought, well, we'll see what YouTube's got to offer. And I found old Jack Crafty. He was one of the first guys I found on there. And then I guess Danny Collins had sent him some material or something. And I was watching videos, and I got to watching Danny's videos, and then he had mentioned the stone hooks. Oh, you don't want to know what I just did. Dang it, Bobby. This thing just keeps getting shorter. It was too thin anyway, but I knew better to do what I was doing. That was 100% my fault. 100, there ain't no defect in it. That was just the operator. But back to my story. I started watching them and spent a lot of time actually trying to... Ooh, that's weird. That might be an actual crack, because that just did not nap right. That's not normal. That's weird. Look, I'm gonna mess around. If it was a little thicker, I could make a marble. Send it to Keith. But yeah, this isn't going real well. It's not a, I wouldn't say this would be a productive return after my little break. But yeah, I'm motivated by the desire to want to get good at this, and something that me and my dad always had in common was Indian artifacts, and some of my best memories of my childhood was spent with my dad not napping, but hunting arrowheads. And I can't not think of him when I make an arrowhead. So, and anytime I'm thinking about my dad, I am usually having a good thought. He was my rock in life. And I just sure wish I would have learned to nap while he had a chance to see it. I know what he'd say. He said, "Son, you do better than that." Well, ain't how I do it. But he'd be proud. He just always pushed me to be better. That's all. But he would love it too. So that's what motivates me, or at least part of it. Some of it I just like hitting rocks. You know, when you're a kid, you go out and you pick up rocks. Nobody shows you cool rocks anymore when you're an adult. Hey, look, I found a cool rock. Yep, we get too busy, I guess. Except the nappers and rock hounds. Some of us remember. Flip this baby over and try this little more delicate side. A little more accuracy here. Well, kind of feels weird not having any music going. Well, she's actually fairly thin here. A little thinner than I would like it, to be honest, at this point. Don't have much convexity left, and still got a lot of width in it. And I'm being really intelligent and smacking it from the base. I get this little hump off right here. We might call that a live face. What is it, 33 minutes? Well, it didn't take me very long to destroy that piece of obsidian at all. You can see this side over here has got this ridge on a little thicker, and that's where all my ugly lumpy stuff is. So see if I can get a flake in here, maybe on this base here, thin that off, that and that. Maybe. Yeah, got part of it, not all of it, but I got part of it. And I need a little short flake right there, the other direction. Yep. Dug it out. I got the flake I wanted, but it come at a price. Never happened. Look, it's gone. Wasn't never there. I don't know what they're talking about. Little flake on the tip here, maybe. Or not. Don't like it when nothing happens. It's what happens when I think. I try to think and nothing happens. That's two in a row, didn't do nothing. I'm gonna quit doing that. Got that weird hinge right there on the edge, so I still want to get that off there. Yeah. The tip fell off. There we go. I just wasn't being a man, hitting it hard. I scared. Done broke it twice. I don't remember what the dimensions was when I started, but they were bigger than that. 3.5 or something. Maybe. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look. Nice. That helped. That helped a lot. All right, well, still got a little work to do on it, refine it. I'll probably do a lot of that with pressure. Might do an indirect strike on this hump right here. Might do that real quick here. But I'm already 35 minutes in. And I guess I'm gonna call it a win unless I break it on this strike right here. For not napping in 6 weeks. Shoulder feels great, no pain. One reason I want to start back on a piece of obsidian. Oh, and that's why you don't hit the base like that. Oh well, on that note, nothing wrong with it, but looks good like that. What do you think? Oh well, it was a good warm up. Nothing wrong with the material. Just rusty as all get out. And then of course I started with something really snapping halfish anyway. I have a hard time with mahogany obsidian or any obsidian for that point. If I'm not very careful and used to it, I will do this to it. But oh well, it'll go with my little broke bucket. And appreciate you watching. Sometimes you got to break a rock. This time I broke it a whole lot more than I meant to, but there you go. I got 2, right? I got 2. All right. Just if you get a chance, smack a rock. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.